most important keys to the Magic's second half success? Is it defensive intensity?
Yes.
Internal development with just mostly focus on shooting. I talked about just like believing in our guys to continue to consistently shoot well from beyond the arc, or points in the paint / getting to the line. So defensive intensity, internal development with our shooting, 3-point, and points in the paint getting to the line. How would you rank those, sir?
Well, I think it's probably the order in which you spouted them out there. I think for me, it's about defensive intensity. I think that's what starts a lot of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
It can lead to a lot of fast break points, which are easy for anyone, no matter what level of development they are. If you're in the NBA, the fast break is a much easier way to score.
It's cookies.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go with the internal development with the shooting next, because I feel like last game I saw Jalen just do a couple of pull-up shots, like for 2, and it was like, ooh, look at that. That's old school NBA. Like, you don't see that a lot anymore. Like, guys just taking a long 2 because they're open. You know, like, I think the guys we have on the team can be that shooting we're looking for, but we're always looking to get to the bucket almost too much. Really good at it, but it sometimes seems like we're not focused on getting a guy an open look. That's not really a part of our offensive scheme. So, I mean, points in the paint is important, but I'm making it my bench on this one because points on the paint, it does depend on who's refereeing the game, how hard are the guys going. A lot of guys inside now get very passive and just let people have baskets. You can't bank on that, but you can bank on that defensive intensity and having your shooters get better. So I think I'm just going to put them in that order, but it doesn't mean that points in the paint aren't important. That's obviously something we do very well already. I think that's why I'm not worried about it as much. But the getting the line that's something different. That's kind of its own thing.
Okay. I think I agree with you on defensive intensity being number 1. I think that, it's no secret we're rarely the team that's going to light up the scoreboard, because we just don't take as many threes as other teams, but we still win games with our defense. And right now on the season, the Orlando Magic are sitting in 5th place in terms of defensive rating in the league. So a top 5 defense. And I think as long as we maintain that top 5 defense, we can win games and be problems for people in the postseason. Because I like you did make a point about the fast breaks, but the game also slows down a little bit in the postseason. I think defense becomes even more important. So I think that favors the team. So that's going to be my starter for sure. I think my backup is going to be for this year at least, points in the paint and getting to the line. In terms of free throw attempts for the season, the Orlando Magic are 3rd in the NBA. And that has been absolutely crucial to the identity of the team and the identity particularly of Paolo Banchero, the superstar or the star of this squad, where we normally win points in the paint and we win at the line. And with our defense, that's enough to get us over. So that would be my backup. It's interesting to me. We had a meme about Scott Foster that we didn't intend, that we decided not to include because of some of his zany calls or from that crew in the Cavs game, like the technical on Moritz and Paolo not getting to the line at all. And that's happened. We've had both Paolo and Franz have gone for high 30 burgers without a single free throw attempt. And if you would have asked me that at the beginning of the year, I would have told you you're crazy, because something that Paolo has been really good at is getting to the line. And so right now in the past, 10 games, the Magic are more towards the middle of the league in free throw attempts. And I've just kind of been noticing a little trend down in how much we've been getting to the line. And I think it's a really important aspect of our game. So I'm watching it, and I would label it a key to success in the second half of the year and in the playoffs. And I guess so that would mean that internal development with the shooting would be the bench. I guess that seems crazy. So maybe you were right. Maybe it's because I've kind of always believed in the shooting of a lot of the guys that are there. Just we've been kind of injured, and now we're getting consistent. Jalen Suggs' shot always looked good to me. Gary Harris, we've seen what he can do. I mean, Joe Ingles, I knew he wasn't going to shoot like shit all year. So guys are just doing what they normally do. I guess the biggest surprise with this internal development has been Wendell Carter Jr., who's the best three-point shooter by average. And I mean, talk about spacing the floor. That's pretty important to that, to have a center that can do that. I know we like big man shit here on this show, but if your main guys are Franz and Paolo who do damage in the paint, having a center who can step out and has to be respected from there is a big help. So that's how I would go. Let us know how you would rank these. What are your biggest keys to our Orlando Magic success going into the second half of the year? I guess less than half. We only got, what, like 30 games left? Yeah, first 50, we got 32. What are your keys to success for the last 42.5% of the year?